Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you decided to tune in. Today I am going to start our freezer pantry challenge. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour of everything. This is not going to be a super in-depth freezer pantry challenge. I am still planning on going to the grocery store and getting fresh stuff. My kids eat fresh produce all day long. They're constantly eating fruit or cucumbers and ranch or peppers and ranch or whatever. So I'm not going to stop that to dwindle down my freezer and pantry. So it's going to mostly be breakfasts because I know I have a lot of pancakes and like French toast in there and dinner stuff. So let's go on that little tour, shall we? Oh my goodness, this top freezer is a kerfuffle mess. There are so many oddball things in here. Okay, so there are the usual, the chicken nuggets and the French fries for the kids. Got some oddball ice cream treats, but hold on real quick. This was gross. I might even just throw these away. These were not good at all. I do not recommend these. Trader Joe's normally is a slam dunk for me, but these were a miss. So I don't recommend those. Nick said they were fine, so he might eat them, but he's not really into dessert, so I don't know. I might give those just like another week before we toss them. Some soup that I made, some meats, a couple Trader Joe's items, butter, lots of frozen veggies up here, some meats, bread, you know, just the stuff we go to often. I did pull out all of the like chicken breasts and things like that, all the meats out from my big freezer. This is just a mess. Oddball things. Veggie burgers, one muffin, pepperonis, one single piece of salmon. This is just, we gotta get rid of this. We gotta work on that. The last time I went through here, I did take out all of the individual pieces like that I packaged of chicken or whatever we had. So the only things in here are like big things or odd things. Like I think we have some kielbasa in there still. I'm gonna show you, but I have to obviously move all of my stuff because my freezer is currently surrounded by junk. So this is my hodgepodge of a freezer. I would say it's like half full, give or take. I'm gonna take some stuff out of it right now. Like this is some bread that I am looking for. Need some of that. I'm gonna take out those kielbasas because Amelia really likes those. And any meats that I can find, you know, just gotta get some stuff out of here so that we actually eat it. But this probably won't take me too long, but you can see the build up here and here, which is why I want to get this thing emptied. All right, and here's my refrigerator. It looks way more stocked than it actually is. What you see is what you get here. Those are very small containers. That's like not even a full bowl of soup. This is our cheese, hummus, deli meat kind of drawer. We've got some produce in here, peppers, avocado, lemon, some apples, lettuce and spinach. Spinach is more for like cooking in our greens, and lettuce is for our salads. The door is pretty basic, just some open condiments. But after like a week, this is gonna start to look real empty because our produce stuff will be running out. And here is the hodgepodge mess that is my pantry. I don't know why dog food's in here, but here it is. There's dog food. Got a lot of canned goods, popcorn, condiments, pasta. The pantry, like I said, isn't really crazy. It's more wanting to make sure I use up all the old stuff in my freezers. And I don't think this challenge will take me very long because it's not crazy in the big freezer. But there's a lot of old things that have just been getting pushed aside. So we're gonna go through everything, use up all the old stuff, and then start fresh. All right, here's the super small haul. Some grapes, a cucumber, some peppers, blueberries, and strawberries. That is it for this week. It's just the fresh stuff that we needed some more of. So that grocery haul that you just saw, I pretty much bought that like 3 times during this challenge. I also bought a 60 count of eggs once, and I think a pack of cheese sticks. So imagine what you just saw 2 more times, and then one of them had a pack of cheese sticks and one of them had a 60 count of eggs. All right, so I am working on emptying the deep freezer right now. Lucas, no, crazy boy, leave the microwave alone. So I have a big stock pot of veggie scraps and chicken bones that I had in my freezer to make stock, which I'll can. And then I have this big bag of Roma tomatoes that I am boiling to get the skins off to make tomato sauce, which I will also can, because my canning shelf is pretty empty right now. So let's get the stuff out of my freezer and onto the shelf. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you can just throw tomatoes in, especially if they're frozen. But if they're not frozen, put like a little X on them, like with a knife to cut the skin a little bit. Throw them in some boiling water, and then as soon as they cool off enough for you to touch them, you just scoop the skin right off. It comes right off. There's the skin. Easy peasy. One hand. Don't need any crazy tools. This stuff comes right off with no issues. So the skins are all removed from here. I know there's a little like where the stem is on some of them, but that's fine. I don't care because we're gonna send these through the blender anyway. It's just the skins kind of get gunked up in the blender and they don't puree all the way down. So we're just gonna leave this low and slow until all of my tomatoes are nice and soft and they can go through a blender, and some of the extra liquid, because tomatoes are so juicy, some of that water is evaporated. This is going to take a long time just sitting here, and so isn't my chicken stock. So we're just going to leave these on autopilot for quite some time. That's why I started so early. So I had this bag of frozen strawberries in my freezer. I wanted to repurpose them and make them into dehydrated strawberries because my kids will snack on these way faster than we will like eat them in a smoothie or put them into like a baked good. So we are dehydrating some strawberries. All right, to continue the theme of cleaning out my big freezer, I've got all this random stale bread, like hunks of heel that we never used, or this is a bagel, varieties. We're gonna chop these up. Some will be croutons, some will be a bread pudding of some kind. Haven't figured that out yet. I have a lot of blueberries and strawberries in my freezers too, so I probably will do a mixed berry one. But first up, we gotta chop all of this up and divide them to have bread pudding and croutons. So this did not make very much. I didn't think it was going to, not even a full quart. So I'm just gonna actually pop this in my fridge instead of canning it. I'm just gonna pop it in the fridge. We'll use it this week for pasta, or maybe I'll make homemade pizza. Something, but for now, tomato sauce is just going in the fridge. All right, so here is my homemade breadcrumbs. I read that I can put these in the freezer as long as it's in an airtight container, so that's what I'm going to do. I used some to make chicken parm for dinner tonight. I didn't think to show you guys, but I did take a picture, so I will throw that in now. Friends, so I'm just showing you some of the meals that I have made. Obviously, we've already had some of it. It's really good. Shepherd's pie. All right, nothing revolutionary over here, but here's dinner tonight. Freezer, pantry. Let's clear it out. All right, we are having breakfast for dinner. I made a hash with potatoes, ham, peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Put a fried egg on top. Did the New England classic with the brown bread and some baked beans. So I have done a couple variations of this to use up some things from my freezer. I had a big ham that we had a ham dinner with we couldn't finish it all, so it went back into the freezer. It was fine because we cooked it anyway. Regardless, I have ham in this one, peppers, onions, mushrooms, cheese. This is an egg bake for breakfast, so I'm going to chop this up and have some for my breakfast right now. The one I did before this was sausage, spinach, some other type of cheese, mushrooms, just kind of using up what we had in the freezer because I had a lot of frozen spinach in there. All right, and here is the pantry. She looks pretty full still. We could definitely go another few days, but my family is officially over it, that's for sure. This bottom shelf has some bottles of wine, peanut butter. That only has like maybe 10 applesauce pouches, maybe even less. And then that's a half bag of flour, which probably would fit in my container. So we'll just say that's full and this flour bag is gone. Some pasta's left, but we've had a lot of pasta because I didn't realize how much pasta we had in our house. So we're all done with pasta for a little bit. These are both open and they're both like just a little bit left. Coffee filters. I think there's like 2 tortillas in there. Taco Bell hot sauce. This is like our canned goods section. This is pretty much how it always looks. We used up some of the odds and ends that were in there that we don't often use. So that's good. And then, of course, the snack shelf for the kids. That I just kept stocked because nobody wants grouchy toddlers. So this didn't change too much. This is why it looks so full still, because I had a bunch of stuff in here that I had to actually put where it goes because my home canning shelf was not very full. I made some chicken stock and some tomatoes, or tomato sauce and chicken stock. So that's why this shelf looks full, and kind of why everything else looks full. But I'm happy with the success. I need to wipe it out, and I'm not going to buy a lot of pantry stuff when I go back. It's going to be mostly fresh stuff. All right, so this top shelf is all drinks, besides this open can of dog food, which will get eaten by Hercules for dinner tonight, and our applesauce and yogurts. The applesauce that I just showed you in the pantry would probably fit in there. That's how few I have. Some eggs, leftovers, some homemade oatmeal bars, fresh fruit and fresh veggies. I kind of kept on stock. I know I only showed you that one haul, but pretty much imagine that bought like 3 or 4 times because that's what we buy pretty much every week. Yogurt, a little bit left, a couple cheese sticks, a couple pieces of deli meat. Condiments always stay about the same. But I'm starting to get requests from kids and husband for certain meals, and I don't have the ingredients for said certain meals. So we're calling it here so that we can have happy dinners again instead of random whatever I can find in the refrigerator. Here is my top freezer, which I do realize also looks really full, but that's because I got everything out of my big freezer and was able to fit it up here. But it's really not that crazy full in here. We've got a little bit of French toast, like one more morning of French toast, a bag of pancakes, a ton of blueberries. If you guys have any recipes for blueberries, because I guess I didn't know how many blueberries we had, but I have tons of blueberries that aren't just your basic like blueberry muffin or blueberry jam, something a little more exciting. I would like to do something with these blueberries, but I already have lots of blueberry jam. We have very minimal meat left. We have this 1 pound of ground turkey. There's a kielbasa right here, some breakfast sausage, and salmon burger, 2 salmon burgers, and 2 chicken breasts in this baggie. We've got chicken stock here, that's what these are, and just some like kid stuff. So like the frozen mixed vegetables, corn dogs, like oddball things. But again, my family's over this challenge, so this is where we're gonna call it. I won't be loading up on really anything besides fresh stuff because, as you can see, we are still pretty good in the frozen department, and I want to still work on this, but not as aggressively because my fam is done. All right, this gross freezer is finally empty. It's unplugged, so it's defrosting. I'm gonna let all that stuff melt. We're gonna give this a big scrub-a-dub, but we are empty. All right, friends, that was gonna do it for today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will catch you guys real soon. Bye.